Hey guys, so today I am super excited because I am going to show you my Anachronism card collection. This first video will cover sets 1, 2, and 3. Anachronism was a collectible card game developed in the mid-2000s by Tri-King Games with the History Channel license. And it's based on history and historical characters, weapons, armor, and deities of different culture. Overall, a great collectible card game for those who love history. I have every single card, including all of the promotional cards, some of which are pretty rare, and I'm very excited to show you guys those. So, without further ado, here are the cards. Now, the first thing I wanted to mention is that I really like taking the best possible care of my cards as I can. And as such, I've actually double sleeved every single card with an inner sleeve and an outer sleeve for extra protection to ensure my collection is protected by the highest quality stuff. Overall, the game is divided up into multiple cultures. For example, the very first culture is the Greek culture, and it includes famous figures and deities and weapons from Greek history. The Greek set includes famous figures such as Alexander the Great, Leonidas, Heracles, who, at least in the US, is more commonly referred to as Hercules. He was made famous by the popular Disney movie. Speaking of this Heracles card, one of the coolest things about this collectible card game is that the artwork they featured on these cards is just absolutely incredible. They used a lot of the same artists as the artists for popular collectible card games like Magic the Gathering and Hearthstone, and it really shows in the high quality artwork. Another famous figure is Zeus, the Greek god, and Pythagoras, who is well known for his mathematical equation. Starting here is the Japanese set, another culture very famous for its military history and warrior tradition. Famous historical cards in this set include the samurai sword, the katana, Miyamoto Musashi, who is the most famous and greatest samurai of all time, the ninja. The ninja is one of the only warrior cards in this entire collectible card game who is kind of more of a generic character, and the ninja's weapon, the shuriken, or in English, throwing stars. On this next page, we have the Norse culture, or the Vikings. Notable historical deities and figures include Odin, the Viking god, Beowulf, made popular by the movie Beowulf, Thor, another Viking god, and Mjolnir, Thor's hammer. On this page begins the Roman set. The very famous Julius Caesar is one of the notable figures. The Roman god Jupiter. I believe this artwork is absolutely incredible. As you can see, really cool looking artwork. Apollo, another Roman deity. Pluto, which has some really excellent artwork. And here are 5 more Greek cards, including the well-known Achilles. And starting from here are the 10 promotional cards from set 1. Each set, with the exception of set 2, has 10 cards that are generally more rare and valuable than the others. The promotional cards from set 1 are actually the least rare. However, there still are some cards here that have quite a bit of value. For example, when I was selling these cards a couple years back, a few of these cards would probably sell for about 20 to 30 bucks each. I'm not quite sure what the value is right now, but I imagine they're still pretty rare. For example, Leonidas of Sparta, I know was worth about 20 to 30 bucks. Bushido, Nobunaga, and Shinmen Takezo were also pretty rare and probably worth about the same. Those are probably the most valuable cards from this set. Some of the other cards aren't really as valuable. Like I know this Alexander Macedon card probably was only worth about 5 bucks. The Spartacus of Thrace card is probably the most common promo card and would probably only sell for about 2 to 3 bucks. Still, it does feel pretty good to have a complete set of promotional cards. That brings us to set 2, which is the Britain set. The Britain set is one of my favorite sets for artwork in this collectible card game. Notable figures from this set include Alfred the Great and the Longsword, King Arthur, Lady of the Lake, Excalibur, Merlin the Wise, and Richard the Lionheart. This King Arthur set is one of my absolute favorite sets in terms of 5-card sets for artwork in this collectible card game. The artwork is by Michael Komark, who in my opinion was one of the absolute best artists who made artwork for this game. Again, more excellent artwork starting from here. Full Mail Halberg, I think that's an excellent piece as well. Chivalry, another very famous figure from history, Robin Hood. His longbow, and his band of merry men. Starting from here is the Chinese set. Notable figures include Mulan, made popular by the Disney movie. This Zhurong card has incredible artwork. Let me show you. I really think the tiger in this piece looks very realistic and cool and vicious looking. On this page there's Sun Tzu, famous author of The Art of War. Bing Fa, which when translated into English actually means Art of War. Starting from here is the Egyptian set, starting with Cleopatra. I really like the artwork on this piece, the Bajizwa. It's a real cool looking snake by the weapon. And this set includes many of the famous Egyptian gods, such as Horus, Ra, and Osiris. Another famous figure from this set includes the Scorpion King, who was portrayed by Dwayne Johnson in a movie that came out a while back, but it definitely made the Scorpion King a lot more known. The Mace of the Scorpion King. Starting from here is the Mongol set. Not really my favorite set for artwork, but it has a lot of prominent figures, a lot of well-known figures, such as Attila the Hun, Genghis Khan, and Kublai Khan. And as I mentioned, set 2 is the only set which does not feature 10 special promotional cards. I'm not quite sure why that is. And that brings us to the final set of this video, set 3. Set 3 starts out with the French. Notable figures from this set include Charlemagne, the French king, Joan of Arc. This Joan of Arc set is also one of my absolute favorite 5-card sets in this collectible card game. It includes artwork such as this, Michael the Archangel, Just an absolutely gorgeous piece. Might be the best or the most realistic looking piece of artwork in the entire collectible card game. Also by Michael Komark, who I mentioned earlier, was one of the absolute best artists that this game had. More French cards. Also some excellent artwork here, Vercingetorix and Camulos. Starting from here is the Germanic set. Includes famous figures such as Alaric and Arminius. The god Freya. One thing I want to mention about this Siegfried set is that it's a special mail-in promotional card set that is certainly more valuable than other cards in this base set. And back when I was selling these a couple years ago, this 5-card set would fetch about $25 in total. And it's certainly much harder to find than the other base cards. The same is also true of this 5-card Native American set. Continues onto this card right here. It's the Magatai Mesha Kiakiak set. Definitely a mouthful to say. In easier terms, it's the Blackhawk set. I guess this is his Native American name. But it too, back when I was selling them a couple years ago, it was probably worth about $25 total. And I'm pretty sure it remains a rare set even today. On this next page is more Native American cards. If you've studied American history, you'll certainly recognize some of the names of these figures. Probably not from the actual title of the card itself, but if you read the flavor text, do a bit more research, some of these guys are pretty well known, such as Crazy Horse, right here, Sitting Bull, the Tomahawk, the Ghost Dance, and Tecumseh. And starting on this page is the last set of set 3, the Scottish set. The Scottish set wasn't really my favorite set in terms of popular historical figures or cool artwork, but it's still pretty cool. Probably the only historical figure that I recognized from this set was, on this page, William Wallace. He was portrayed by Mel Gibson in the popular movie Braveheart. And lastly, on this last page are the 10 promotional cards. These promotional cards are a lot rarer and valuable than the promotional cards I showed you from set 1. For example, this Heracles of Thebes card, Set, Stone of Destiny, and Batukan. I've sold copies of most of those, and they were all worth about $30 each a couple years ago, and I'm sure they're still very rare today. The Satori Hanzo card was worth about $10 to $20, and these 3 cards right here, the 3 Greek fate cards, Clotho, Lachesis, and Atropos, are 3 of the jewels of my collection, and combined, they're probably worth, or were, and probably still are worth a good amount of money. I'm gonna say $100. But they're definitely 3 of the rarest cards in this collectible card game. So very, very happy to have these as part of my collection. And lastly, this right here is my set of sealed starter set boxes from sets 1, 2, and 3. They're all in custom-made acrylic cases made by the Collectible Grading Authority. All sealed and in English. These were generally made for newer players to kind of just pick up and play. I really think they look gorgeous in these cases. So yeah, that's my complete collection from sets 1 to 3. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys tune in for my next video, which will cover sets 4 through 6. Until next time.